We're going to look at beer, and we're asking the question that's often asked, does it actually dehydrate you when you drink it or not?
Yeah, well, there's been throughout the ages, there's always been, whether it was an old wives' tale or something we never really knew, but you just you got the feeling that you're dehydrating drinking beer. Alcoholics and binge drinkers everywhere have thought this, but we've never really known for sure.
Yeah. But it stands to reason, because you wake up in the morning after a big night and you usually got a dry mouth, you feel dehydrated, you've got a headache from what you think is dehydration. It's easy to make that sort of correlation, I guess.
People wake up with a hangover and go, oh, my brain's dehydrated, but that may not be the entire case either, because the doctors, I don't know whether they understand hangovers properly yet. My uncle was a brewer, and he was the first one that introduced me to the concept back when I first started drinking beer. Let's just say when I was 18. And he said the greatest trick they ever managed here was to create a beverage which refreshed you but made you want more, because it dehydrated you as well. You got to the end, you finished a refreshing beverage and you're just like, hell, I need another one. So it was a great tactic, and this is how binge drinking starts. But there's actually been some solid research done into it just last year. In a study called the hydration status and diuretic action of a small dose of alcohol. So basically, trying to figure out how much drinking just a little bit of alcohol makes you want to pee. The basics of this study were that they took a dozen guys. These guys, they made them exercise pretty hard, and then they either made them rehydrate and eat, a decent meal, or they left them dehydrated after their exercise. They gave them a litre of either beer or water and just saw the effects of how much of the fluid they actually retained or lost. Now, if you are actually well hydrated to start with, then what happens is you drink a litre of beer versus a litre of water. What happens is you will urinate out an extra 10 to 15% of the fluid on the alcohol versus just straight hydration. By the time you get to the third hour, though, it's balanced out. It's you're both urinating at the same pace. But the first 2 hours, 10 to 15% extra, which doesn't sound like a lot there, but the fact is it's a matter of about 150 mils, because you are over the 3 to 4 hour period. If you're drinking like a litre, you'll expel about 1.1 litres of fluid. Right. If you're drinking the beer, you'll expel close to 1.3 litres. So it's,
that's significant. Yeah.
So it's a fair bit. And
that's not really taking into account the extra water you would use in processing the alcohol too, which is an important consideration, not for this, but like overall, you'd be more dehydrated because of the alcohol and because of that. Not just on the volume that you're intaking and outputting, but also in the volume that you actually use up when you process the alcohol, apparently. That's all part of the diuretic process as well. So the other part of the study was basically when you were left dehydrated, you drink in a litre of water or you drink in a litre of beer. This doesn't matter. You will be rehydrated anyway. You will absorb all the fluid, and you won't expel much at all. So somewhere between 100 and 150 mils of that will be expelled. So the alcohol actually doesn't have an effect on rehydration. Ah, right. So so if you're already in a dehydrated state, drinking beer is just as good or almost as good as drinking water. Yeah. Okay. And you're also getting back some. I know what I'd rather drink.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Basically, what it comes down to is
it does dehydrate you.
Does dehydrate a normal, like when you're just properly hydrated, but when you're dehydrated, it won't. It can't take away more fluid than you've actually got in you. Right. So even if you're drinking beer the entire night, the worst it can do is take you down to a certain level, but the body will regulate itself for that. It's not an issue. I mean, there's basic rule of thumb, which it's a bit anecdotal, but it sort of stands to reason where for every 10 grams of alcohol that you put in your body, the body, in order to process that, it takes 100 mil of fluid out of you. Now, 10 grams of alcohol is a standard drink.
Sure.
So, a beer or a shot, whatever. The drinks that we're talking about in this study were 1 litre. So that's how, they're taking 1 litre and then they're pissing out 1.3.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you just have 10 grams of alcohol,
so if you have shots, then you're going to be more dehydrated, obviously, than if you have beer, because beer contains a significant portion of water. It's like 95% water or something. So you're going to be more, hydrated through drinking beer than drinking a spirit or probably wine as well, that has a higher alcohol content.
More concentrated the alcohol, you'll pee less in volume, but you'll be losing more in percentage.
Yeah. So the moral of this is really just to drink more beer.
Yes.
I will drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.